Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into AI-assisted development, specifically with Claude Code. We're going to go way beyond the basics and dig into the advanced features that can seriously change the game for how you write software.
So here's the big question, right? Could an AI really make you 10 times more productive? I know, it sounds a little bit like science fiction, but what if I told you that with the right AI, and more importantly, with the right workflows, it's not just some crazy idea, it's something you can actually achieve.
And that's exactly what we're going to do in this explainer. We're going to lay out the roadmap step by step. We'll start with the absolute fundamentals and then build all the way up to these expert-level techniques that turn Claude Code from just a helper into a true co-pilot for your projects.
All right, first things first, you got to get your AI co-pilot into the cockpit. The setup is designed to be super simple, but don't let that fool you. It unlocks this incredibly powerful feature that gives the AI a deep, almost instant understanding of your entire codebase.
Getting started is honestly a breeze. You just install the extension from the VS Code Marketplace, run one little command to initialize your project, and that second step right there, that's where the real magic happens. See, that command creates this file called claude.md. You should think of it as the AI's personal cheat sheet for your project. It scans everything, your dependencies, your file structure, and builds this detailed map. So from that point forward, the AI isn't starting from scratch. It's starting as an expert on your code.
Okay, so the AI is all briefed on our project. Now we get to the fun part, deciding how we want it to work. And this is not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. You get to choose a workflow that perfectly matches the task at hand, whether you need to be super careful or just, go fast.
So you basically have two main modes. On one hand, you've got planning mode. This is like your thoughtful architect. It lays out a detailed, step-by-step plan for you to approve before it touches a single line of code. Perfect for those big, complex features. And then, you've got YOLO mode, which is exactly what it sounds like. For simpler tasks, it just goes, executing without stopping for permission. All about pure speed.
And let me be clear, planning mode isn't just some simple to-do list. The AI can actually use its built-in tools like web search to look up the latest best practices and then bake that research right into its implementation plan. It gives you this comprehensive strategy to review, which means you are always in the driver's seat.
Now, this is where we really start to level up. We're going to go from just using the tool to actually mastering it. We'll do this by creating our own custom triggers and commands that automate our personal workflow.
The first tool we've got for this are called hooks. And honestly, the tripwire metaphor is perfect. You can set up these hooks in your settings file to listen for specific things happening, like, say, the AI finishing a response, and then automatically trigger some kind of action on your command line.
And you can get really creative here. You could do something simple, like have it play a little sound to let you know a long task is finally done, or you could set up something much more complex, like automatically running your linter every single time Claude edits a file. It's all about putting your quality checks and your workflow on autopilot.
Next up, we have custom commands. Look, we all had those prompts we type over and over and over again, right? Write a unit test for this, or generate the boilerplate for that. Well, custom commands let you save those long instructions into a simple little file.
And it's so easy to set up. You just create a commands folder, drop a markdown file in there with your prompt, and boom, you can call it anytime with a simple / command. This is how you start to package up your own expertise and make your most common tasks happen in an instant. Okay, hold on, because now we're getting into the really advanced, totally game-changing stuff. What if, instead of just having one AI assistant, you could build and manage an entire team of specialized AI agents? Well, that's the whole idea behind subagents.
So the core concept is this. You can create different agents, and each one gets its own unique system prompt, its own expertise. You could have a front-end specialist who lives and breathes React, a back-end guru, a database architect, you name it. Your main agent then basically becomes a project manager, delegating the right tasks to the right specialist.
So you can give a really high-level goal to your main agent, and it will intelligently break down the work, passing off the front-end tasks to the front-end agent and the API work to the back-end agent. It creates this amazing separation of concerns, just like you'd have on a real human development team.
And the benefits here are just huge. Each subagent gets its own separate memory, its own context window, so you don't burn through the main agent's capacity. They're fine-tuned for what they do, so you get much higher quality results. And best of all, you can share these agent configurations, creating really consistent, scalable workflows for your entire team.
Let's talk about one of the biggest headaches when working with any AI, context loss.
You spend an entire session getting the AI up to speed on your project, and then the next day it's all gone. Poof. Well, Claude Code has some seriously powerful solutions for this. Oh, we've all been there. You have to explain everything all over again from scratch, just wasting so much time reminding the AI what you're even working on. It is a major, major roadblock to getting anything done.
So here's your toolkit to fix that forever. The /resume command is basically a time machine. It lets you jump right back into any past conversation with all the context perfectly intact. /export lets you save that memory to a file, maybe to share with a teammate. And then there's the /bash command, which is kind of a secret weapon.
See, bash isn't just a convenient shortcut. Every single command you run through it gets added to the conversation's memory. The AI sees what you're doing, it sees the output from the terminal, and it uses all of that information to build an even deeper, more accurate picture of what's happening in your project.
So as you can see, the path from being a casual user to a real power user is a pretty clear progression. It all starts with that foundational setup, getting that crucial Claude.md file in place. From there, you move into customizing your workflow with hooks and commands, and finally, you master these advanced ideas like subagents and session memory to build a system that's truly intelligent and scalable.
And believe it or not, the journey doesn't even stop there. People are already building frameworks on top of Claude Code that introduce concepts like personas, letting you literally switch the AI's personality to be an architect for system design or a front-end guru for UI work. The potential for specialization is just immense.
And that really brings us to the final, most important question. When the old limits of context loss are just gone, and you can delegate work to a persistent team of specialized AIs that deeply understand your project, what does that unlock for you? What kind of ambitious new things suddenly become possible? That's the future this is all building towards. Thanks for joining this explainer.